Okay, so have you ever pictured yourself walking into like a really cool zoo, with the sounds of everyone having a good time and all the excitement in the air?
Or even just a really peaceful garden
Oh, yeah.
where it's just calm and you can relax, surrounded by all those colorful flowers.
Totally. Well, guess what? Behind the scenes of all those amazing places
Mhm.
is a recreational facilities manager, kind of like the maestro of good times and making sure everything runs smoothly.
Yeah, they really are the ones who make it all happen.
So we're going to do a deep dive into RoleCatcher.com.
Yeah.
They've got all these awesome career guides, interview tips. We're talking real insider secrets here to give you the breakdown of this surprisingly dynamic field.
I think what's interesting here is that it's not just your average gym or the local park.
Right.
These sources highlight some really diverse places: gardens, spas, zoos, even those lively entertainment complexes.
Wow. Okay, so it's way more than just like making sure the lights are on and the doors are
A lot
unlocked.
more than that. Yeah.
What's the real deal here?
Yeah. Think of them as the conductors of a symphony of fun. They're the ones making sure the entire place runs smoothly.
Okay, I like that.
They manage the staff, coordinate with all the different departments, keep a close eye on the budgets.
Because even fun needs funding, right?
Exactly. And they've got to stay ahead of the game when it comes to what's trending in the industry.
So it's like you're juggling staff schedules, brainstorming those cool new event ideas, maybe even crunching numbers to get that extra funding for a new playground.
Absolutely. And you know what's fascinating?
What's that?
The best in the business, they don't just react to things, they analyze everything.
Oh, that's interesting.
They use data, like visitor traffic flow, to design layouts that minimize those annoying bottlenecks. Like when everyone's bunched up trying to get through the same door.
The worst.
The worst. They figure out how to maximize everyone's enjoyment. That strategic thinking is what sets a great recreational facilities manager apart.
That's so smart. It's like being a detective of good times, figuring out how to make the experience even better. Let's be real, though. It can't all be fun and games, right?
Yeah.
What about those days when things get a little crazy?
You're right. It's not always easy. You brought up bustling environments before, and that can also mean dealing with unexpected weather issues.
So for sure.
Those long and sometimes irregular hours, especially during peak seasons.
Yeah.
And then there are the physical demands that come with managing these large facilities.
Right. Like when that summer heat wave hits and everyone and their mother is trying to cool off at the pool.
Exactly. And don't forget about those customer complaints. Handling those effectively is a huge part of the job.
Oh, man. Dealing with complaints can be tough.
It can be. Whether it's a lost child at the zoo, which always tugs at the heartstrings,
Wow.
or a disgruntled guest at a casino, you need strong interpersonal skills and conflict resolution skills. Those are non-negotiable in this role.
Okay, that's making a lot of sense now. It's not just about loving recreation. It's about having the resilience and people skills to navigate the unexpected. So you've got to be organized, a master communicator,
Yeah.
a budgeting whiz, and probably have a black belt in patience.
You're going in it.
What else does your research say it takes to truly thrive in this role?
One thing your sources highlight is the importance of being a proactive problem solver. This isn't a job where you can just clock in and clock out. You've got to be passionate, resourceful, and always ready to adapt because the world of recreation is always changing.
Adaptability is key.
Speaking of adapting, let's talk about the career ladder itself.
Mm.
How do you go from being the new kid on the block to a seasoned recreational facilities manager? The RoleCatcher.com guides actually lay out that whole journey really well.
Okay.
They start with the Recreational Facilities Coordinator position, which sounds about right, right?
Yeah,
Where you're really in the thick of it, very hands-on, making sure everything's running smoothly
I can see that.
on a day-to-day basis.
I'm picturing someone who's super organized, loves those little details, maybe even a bit of a checklist ninja.
Yes.
They're making sure the equipment's in tip-top shape, all the schedules are set, and that every single visitor feels welcome and taken care of.
You got it.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, your sources point out that even at this entry level,
Uh-huh.
you're not just taking orders.
Oh, okay.
You're gaining experience in budget management,
Wow, really?
resource allocation, and you're even learning the ropes when it comes to those really important safety regulations.
Okay, so you're like a recreational facilities superhero in training.
Exactly.
You're learning the ropes, building those skills
Yes.
that'll take you to the next level.
Exactly.
So what comes after that? What's the next step on the ladder?
Well, once you've proven yourself as a coordinator, you might find yourself moving up to the Recreational Facilities Supervisor role.
Okay.
And this is where your leadership skills really come into play.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
You're overseeing staff now, making sure everyone's following procedures down to a T, and ensuring everyone's on the same page about those safety protocols we talked about.
Yeah, those are crucial.
Crucial, absolutely.
So more responsibility, but also a chance to really inspire your team
Yeah.
and make sure everyone's working together towards a shared goal.
That's a great point.
The example profiles even mentioned performance evaluations and fostering a culture of like always getting better, at this stage.
That's so important because as you move up this ladder, it becomes less about doing everything yourself and more about guiding and motivating others to do things effectively.
Oh, interesting.
You're going from task-oriented to people-oriented.
Right.
You're building those leadership skills.
I like it.
And as your expertise grows, you might find yourself taking on an even more strategic role, like the Assistant Recreational Facilities Manager.
Okay, this feels like a big turning point, don't you think?
It is, yeah.
You're not just managing day-to-day operations anymore. You're thinking big picture, long-term vision, all of that.
You got it. This is where you really start flexing those strategic planning muscles.
I bet, yeah.
You're diving deep into the data, analyzing all those performance metrics, maybe even conducting audits to make sure everything is efficient and compliant.
Right.
You're becoming the right hand to the Recreational Facilities Manager.
Oh, nice.
The big boss.
Speaking of the big boss, let's talk about that top rung on the ladder.
Oh, yeah.
What does it take to be a truly exceptional recreational facilities manager?
Right.
What did your research tell you about the skills and qualities they have?
One thing your sources really emphasized was mastering the art of delegation.
Okay.
They know how to leverage their team's strengths, empower them to do their best work.
Makes sense.
And they're really good at building relationships, whether it's with staff, stakeholders, or even the community.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So it's not just about being the boss. It's about being a leader, a mentor.
Exactly.
Maybe even a diplomat sometimes.
You got it.
Yeah.
They set the vision, create a positive and productive environment.
Right. And they ensure that the facility thrives, not just for today,
Right.
but for years to come.
That's a good point, yeah.
And you know what often comes with that level of expertise and dedication?
Okay, don't leave me hanging. What's the payoff for all that hard work?
Well, according to those RoleCatcher FAQs you provided, a skilled recreational facilities manager can earn a pretty impressive salary. We're talking anywhere from $40,000 to $100,000 per year.
Wow.
Not bad at all, right?
Not bad at all. That's awesome.
Especially for a job that lets you bring joy and well-being to so many people.
Exactly. And I imagine the potential for growth, both within the role and in the industry as a whole, is really exciting.
Absolutely. And that's where continuous learning comes in.
Oh, that's a good point.
It's important to keep learning and growing in this field.
Okay, so you've climbed the ladder, you're at the top of your game. What does continuous learning actually look like at that stage? Is it just about going to fancy conferences and getting more certificates?
Well, those definitely have their place.
Yeah. It's really about staying ahead of the game in a field that's always evolving. New technologies are popping up all the time, trends change,
Right.
people's expectations change.
You're saying even a seasoned pro, someone at the top of their game, can't just kick back and relax.
Exactly.
They got to be plugged into all the latest and greatest stuff to stay on top.
They've got to be ahead of the curve, yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Otherwise, they'll get left behind.
So true.
It's a fast-paced world, the world of recreation.
And your RoleCatcher.com resources, they really emphasize that, don't they?
They do, yeah.
They've got all these suggestions about attending workshops, earning those impressive certifications like the Certified Park and Recreation Professional
Right.
or the Certified Facility Manager. I've even seen tips on using social media to network and just stay in the loop,
Yeah. It's all about constantly learning and growing.
Totally.
Networking is so important. Meeting other professionals.
Networking is huge.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've climbed that ladder, you're at the top, but now comes the part that can make or break even the most qualified candidate, the interview.
Right.
You've got all the knowledge, you've got the passion, but how do you communicate all of that effectively and actually land that dream job?
It can be nerve-wracking, right?
Oh, totally.
That's where RoleCatcher.com really shines.
Oh, good.
They've got a ton of interview prep resources, like a massive database of potential questions you might get asked.
Wow.
And they even offer expert-guided approaches to answer them like a pro.
Wait, they actually tell you how to answer the interview questions?
They do. Yeah.
That's amazing. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, it's amazing how much they give you.
Tell me more. How does this even work?
Well, it's not about giving you canned responses to just spit out,
Right.
Their platform actually uses AI, so it's like having a super smart detective. It
Okay.
analyzes job descriptions and helps you tailor your answers to really highlight your unique skills and experience.
So it's like having your own personal interview coach. Okay, that is really cool. So it's all about showcasing what makes you stand out, right?
Exactly.
Can we dive into some examples? I'd love to see how this works in action.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's say they ask you the classic, how did you become interested in recreational facilities management?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Seems pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah,
But you'd be surprised how many people stumble on that one.
I can see that. It's your chance to show them you're not just there for a paycheck, that you really care about this.
Yeah.
You're passionate about it.
You want to show genuine interest in the field. And instead of giving a generic answer like, I enjoy working with people.
Right. Everyone says that.
Which could apply to so many jobs, let's be honest.
Right, exactly.
Think about a specific story, a specific experience that really made you passionate about this line of work.
Okay, so instead of something vague,
Yeah.
you give them something concrete.
Yeah.
You paint a picture for them.
Exactly.
Maybe you tell them about that time you organized a community festival or coached a youth sports team, or even just volunteered to clean up your local park and realized, hey, I love making this place awesome for everyone.
Right. Now you're showing them passion, initiative,
Yeah.
and that you're committed to making a positive impact. That's what makes an interview memorable.
Absolutely. That's a great example.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about the tougher questions? Like, how would you handle a conflict with a facility user?
Oh, yeah.
Because let's be real, that's a situation every recreational facilities manager is going to encounter at some point.
That's a real life scenario for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a perfect opportunity to show them how you solve problems.
Right.
They want to see that you can stay calm when things get tough,
Stay cool.
listen empathetically,
Yeah.
but also find a solution that works for everyone while still enforcing those facility rules.
Okay, so no yelling at the parent who can't find their kid at the water park.
Exactly.
Got it. So instead of just saying, I'm a good listener, give them a real-life example of a tricky situation you successfully navigated.
Exactly. Maybe you mediated a dispute between two people fighting over the badminton court.
Oh, yeah. People get really competitive about that.
They do. Or maybe you addressed a safety concern before it became a big issue, or found a creative way to help a visitor with a disability.
Okay, those are really good
And
examples.
by sharing that concrete experience,
Yeah.
you're showing, not just telling.
Right. You're proving it.
Exactly.
For like saying, hey, I got this. And you've got the experience to back it up.
Exactly.
Okay, last question. This one feels super relevant in our tech-obsessed world.
Hit me.
How do you, as a recreational facilities manager, stay up to date with all the latest trends and new technology?
Oh, that is such a good question.
Because it's changing so quickly.
It's constantly changing, and that's where you show them you're not just managing, you're innovating.
Yes.
You're the one who's always finding ways to improve that visitor experience.
Right.
Whether it's by offering new programs, incorporating eco-friendly practices, that's really important these days.
Yeah, sustainability is huge.
Or embracing the latest tech.
Right.
Absolutely.
Think online booking systems.
Yes.
To make reservations a breeze. Or those interactive exhibits that really bring history to life.
Absolutely.
Or even augmented reality apps to guide visitors through nature trails.
Yeah. It's all about enhancing the experience.
Exactly.
And using technology to do that.
By showing you're aware of these advancements and willing to embrace them, you're basically saying, hey, I'm all about staying ahead of the game
Right.
and creating a truly awesome experience.
Exactly. It's not just about maintaining what's already there.
Right.
It's about taking it to that next level.
It's about shaping the future of recreation.
Exactly.
Okay, so for our listeners who are ready to dive into this world, create some amazing memories, and make a real difference in people's lives, where do you suggest they start?
RoleCatcher.com is the perfect place to begin.
There you go.
They have resources for every step of the way.
They really do.
From figuring out which career path is right for you to crafting the perfect application to acing that interview.
Don't forget, they also offer those incredible AI-powered tools
Right. Yeah.
to give you a real edge over the competition.
It's like having your own career coach, available 24/7.
Exactly. It's amazing.
And as a final thought, consider this.
Yes.
Your sources talk about how AI is becoming a bigger part of recreational facilities.
Okay. Yeah.
From customized experiences to those smart booking systems we talked about.
Right.
How could you, as a future recreational facilities manager, use this to your advantage?
It's a good question.
Could you be the one who creates that groundbreaking program,
Right.
or designs a cutting-edge facility,
Yes.
or develops an AI-powered tool that completely changes how people experience recreation? The possibilities are endless.
Wow, what an awesome thought. We're not just preparing for today's jobs, we're preparing for the future of recreation.
Exactly.
I love that.
No.
Well, on that note, we'll wrap up our deep dive into the world of recreational facilities management. Hopefully you found this insightful, maybe even inspiring, and hey, maybe even a little bit fun. There you go. Remember, the key here is to never stop learning, never stop exploring, and never stop creating those moments that make life a little bit better.
Beautifully said.
And who knows, maybe one day you'll be the one sharing your story
Right.
with a whole new generation of recreational facilities managers.
That would be amazing.
That would be so cool. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep diving into all the things you're passionate about.
And keep having fun.
Always. That's the most important part.